The Pathways to Knowledge model of information processing identifies 6 stages that students go through when learning to process information. They are appreciation, pre-search, search, interpretation, communication, and evaluation. More information on this can be found in the Technology as Facilitator of Quality Education model. A high school industrial technology class is entering into a collaboration with an architectural firm and the staff of a local museum. The facilitator begins the day by relating some childhood dreams of his that convey his hopes for the collaboration. This serves to arouse the curiosity of the participants.
I'm sort of your facilitator for the day, and in some ways I'm also the instructor, but I prefer to think of myself as a facilitator, even in the classroom. I guess one thing I wanted to say was that this kind of fulfills a childhood dream that I had, and that was that one thing that I wanted to receive when I was a kid was lots of mail, so I made 3 mailboxes. And what that basically says is that I wanted to communicate with people because I lived clear out in the country and I never saw anyone. So opportunities to communicate with people were important to me even when I was 5 years old. The other dream was that when I did grow up, I didn't know exactly what I was going to be doing, but at 5 years old I knew that I wanted to work with people and that I wanted to be around people who had ideas, who were thinkers, but more importantly, people who were doers. And so that's why I'm excited about today, because of the fact that I know that you're all thinkers and you're much more than that. You're people who get things done.
The students will be paired with mentors. Each pair will be given a design problem to solve using K'NEX building toys. As they work together, the students and mentors are to relate interesting facts about themselves to get to know each other better. This community building activity will help all the participants to appreciate the possibilities for the collaboration. This demonstrates the appreciation stage of information processing.
So you're going to work as a team, you and the student, to build this structure. And when doing that, you can talk to each other about who you are, so you kind of get to know each other, and also discuss some of the fundamental reasons about why you're doing what you're doing. And you'll kind of see why I make that statement when you look at the handout that's here.
The mentors and students demonstrate the pre-search stage of information processing as they begin the process of solving their design problems. They discuss possible solutions before they begin building. The students are relating information to prior knowledge as they apply their previous learning of architecture and design to their task.
There we go. Yeah, that looks great. Okay, now we need to put.
Both the students and the mentors are building background information as they work cooperatively to construct a specific structure. After they have finished, the students and mentors evaluate the outcome of their teamwork. The students discuss the process of building their K'NEX structures. This gives the students a chance to present new knowledge that they have acquired through the activity. The students have the opportunity to express ideas through designing and presenting their finished product. This demonstrates the communication stage of information processing.
And then we needed like a support system, kind of like a backbone, kind of. Let's just this thing up through the middle there. Yes, we started building it, and we had it up to here. We didn't have these yellow pieces, and it wouldn't stay real well. We put the yellow pieces in, and it's staying pretty good now. The only stumbling block we had was the stability of the base, and like I said, we just added those yellow pieces, and I guess that's about it.
What I would like for you to do today, as we go through this entire process, anytime you want to ask a question, and this is for mentors or students, feel free to jump in there, ask those questions. I always have questions, and one question right away is, how long did it take you to figure out how to make that base stable? Or how many tries did it take?
I think about 3, because we started with just those red pieces, and then we added the yellow, and then we added that gray piece that goes all the way out.
Okay, and was that through discussion, or did you actually?
That was through discussion and then like trial and error.
Okay. Okay. Are there any other questions out there?
Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Alex.
The students further demonstrate the communication stage of information processing as they present computer-aided drafting and design projects to other participants. The students use both two-dimensional and three-dimensional design software to reconstruct objects from digital photographs. The students have organized information for a presentation. As they created their drawings, the students applied design techniques they had learned in class, and they edited and revised their drawings to make them more accurate.
Okay, this is the picture from inside the Carnegie building looking down at the front door. It was kind of black, so you couldn't really see it. And all I did is I went over the pattern of right above the door, that arc of that window, and I drew in the windows on the side and that little fire. That's what that little white spot down there in the corner is. The little fire symbol thing from years ago. That's still there. That's about it on this one. Any questions? If not, I'll move on. Okay. Okay. Over here was the drawing. I traced over. I'll just delete this because this one's. And this one over here is what it was traced over. I zoomed in pretty good, like right around in this area, to get the design.
Okay, Steve. Anytime.
This is for a competition we had for TSA. You were given a drawing, you had to reproduce it, dimension it, and there's a part you had to alter. You can see here a sec. This piece right here had to be moved up 1/4 of an inch from what it was. It is a pretty simple enough drawing that didn't take a whole lot of time. Spent probably an hour and a half on it.
The participants enter the evaluation stage of information processing during a discussion of the project. The facilitator leads an open forum to discuss ideas for continuing the collaboration between the students, architects, and museum staff. Together, the facilitator and participants evaluate and redefine the questions they have concerning the project.
What exactly are we collaborating? So we are collaborating. Are we like doing more of the architectural? What hands-on? Or what are we doing? Are we
Well, that's
here directly doing certain architectural parts within the building.
Well, I think I didn't realize what talents you folks have. You far surpass what I had expected. I could see this thing being a lot bigger than what I had in mind as we talked, and you certainly had a better understanding. But I could see you taking the perspective of a visitor to Perry, walking through this building, for example, as we look at the 3D imaging you're doing. What would it be like to walk through the front door of the building and then maybe take a look at that lamppost and how that would work? Something about Perry is people don't know a lot about Perry, but if this were to be accessed by other folks and they could walk through the building without actually coming here, we might entice them to come to Perry and visit the museum or the hotel, Security Bank building. And this can just grow on its own. But I think it's important that it not become assignments. I heard the word said, well, we do these assignments, but I did this on my own time. I think it has to be something that you personally are interested in doing. If it's a potato launcher or what it is, you know, that's exciting to you, but what we're trying to do here is say, we have this big idea about Perry and what it might become. Let's take my interest and apply it to this big picture. And I know the big picture is kind of fuzzy to you. It's fuzzy to us sometimes. But, you know, we want to tell the story of Perry, and we hope that your interest might help bring people to Perry. So we don't know specifically what that might be, but I guess we're looking to you to say, what are your interests? If it's looking at the architectural details of this building, great, let's talk about, you know, showing 3D images all the way around the perimeter of the building. There's going to be a new building built on site. You know, maybe we can get you involved with the architect of that building.
I think, you know, the young minds here, there's so much creativity here being shown. Some of what Liz was doing in her own time with the simple gasket and stuff like that, that's very intriguing, it's very compelling. And I'd like to see exploring some more visioning, you know, okay, this is what we've got, you know, and, you know, as John says, you know, being let's say, pretend like I'm a first timer at Perry, you know, what are some of the things I don't like, what are some of the things I'd like to see happening here to this structure, that structure, between structures, and things like that, some of the infills, and there's so many things, potentials, and I can just see that could be a real brain teaser and kind of inject some fresh thoughts and thinking back here. I think that would really be exciting.
Students brainstorm ideas of how they would like to collaborate further with the Hometown Perry, Iowa team. At this stage, they begin to narrow the topic and define their information needs. They also begin to develop specific research questions for the mentors. This demonstrates the pre-search stage of information processing.
Made those on the computer and made them 3D and actually looked and see how the structure would fit. Like the different air ducts or plumbing and stuff like that. Lighting system.
I think in that case it'd be good to have one student build the architectural, or a couple maybe, then have other students go in and add in like electrical, plumbing, duct work like you said, and have a complete three-dimensional model of the entire building.
That's a great idea.
The students take a tour of some local buildings that are being renovated. The architect in charge of the renovation is also one of the participants in the collaboration. He and the instructor discuss the process of architectural renovation and the technological changes that are occurring in the field of architecture. This gives the students the chance to gather information about architecture from an authentic source. This demonstrates the search stage of information processing.
There aren't a lot of photographs of the interior. We have a few. We'll share those with you. And then the rest we have to speculate as to what was done.
Like the door that you're working on, Liz, out front here wasn't a one-piece door. It was a two-piece door. And I understand you have photographs of that.
Yeah, we do.
I learned through the grapevine.
Yeah.
So we could actually, after putting the building together, could actually, take his photographs of the original two doors, and we could draw those and put them in, plug them into the drawing. And we could even show before and after views, simultaneously even.
Always something to learn here. Technology changes. You guys are doing things I can't do. You might be surprised to hear that, but you guys are doing this 3D modeling and the software that I can't do it. And it's coming, and people are going to have to do it in our office, or I'm going to have to learn, or something's going to have to happen.
It's coming quickly, and it's going to replace, it's going to be very competitive, much more competitive.